Hopefully everybody can hear me. This is Cassandra Williamson. I am coming to you from the kitchen of the camp up in Mudlick Road. So, yeah, all of you over there on the Twitter space that's all 4chan members, I know who you are. A bunch of kids. Most likely you're not even over the age of 13. But I'm actually going to do something here. I'll show you what's involved with, working as a trans terrorist up in the holler, okay? Come on in, take a look. Here's the first thing we got to do. I'm going to start making an apple stack cake today for Mom, and actually it's for me. I love making the cake, but I also like eating it. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I've got 2 of these white cake mixes. Okay, the white cake mix. I'm going to put them in a bowl, and we're going to just blend them together. But I'm going to do it in a way. I'm going to do all of this the way Mom used to do it. Mom's sitting over here. She's not feeling well, and so I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here to do all these things. And thanks for watching too. Again, this is Cassandra Williamson. Any of the family that's out there watching or whatever, just ignore the trans terrorism stuff that goes on in the world today because they're just a bunch of idiots talking. That's primarily what it is. I'm hoping my microphones are working really well. We'll see who comes online. But what I'm doing is I'm also listening to Fox News over here. And what I wanted to do today was not only am I going to be doing this apple stack cake, making it the way Mom used to make it, but I'm also going to be pontificating on what the dummy over here on the Will Kane show is saying. So let me just go ahead and get some things together. And we'll just do all of this right now. Hope you're having fun, everybody. Hope it's been a good day for you. It's been a tough one. I just got back not more than 30 minutes ago, really, with my sister from her doctor's appointment. That turned out well for her, except that having to change some medicines because she has like a 4 or a 2 centimeter hiatal hernia, and it is a painful thing. Really painful. At least a little bit of stomach acids get up there on that thing, and she is in pain. So that's my goal as a person here, a caregiver here, is to take care of Mom and my sister, and to be there for my brother and cousins and other people in the area. And I volunteered to come back here, and I'm glad that they allowed me to come back here. They didn't have to, obviously. But here I am, and right now I decided I'm going to make an apple stack cake. So you can see how we do this. So you get you some white cake mix. This is from Walmart, just so you know. You probably, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's from Walmart. Okay, it's just white cake mix. That's all it is, white cake mix. So white cake mix, we'll follow the directions, and then, but I'm going to turn it into something that is more of a holiday spirit kind of thing. And I think that's probably why it tasted so good. It was always a happy, smiley holiday thing, you know. And we'll see how all this turns out. Okay. So I've got 5 pans. So this is a layered cake. Okay, it's going to be a layered cake. And I'll put apples in between each layer. But this is going to take about 30 minutes to bake. And I won't deal with this until probably sometime later this evening, because I want the cake, each layer of that cake needs to cool completely, as much as possible, before I do anything with putting the apples on it or any of those things, because it will just fall apart quickly on you. So I had 2 boxes of white cake mix, and I got a few other things over here. You'll figure it out in a minute. So next thing, you just follow these directions on the back. 1 1/4 cups of water and a 1/2 cup of great value vegetable oil, just vegetable oil, and also 4 egg whites. So let me get a cup, measuring cup, and I'll just put it all together. It's 1 1/4 cups of water and a 1/2 cup of oil. Okay, and that got you started on that part of it. So since I have 2 of them, who's good at math? Really quickly. So you have 1 1/4 cups of water. So you need 2 1/2 cups for 2 boxes, right? Right. And this thing happens to be a 2 1/2 cup measuring cup. So let's get that out of the way. And we're going to put some vegetable oil in there. So you have to have a half a cup for each box of vegetable oil. So we're going to have 1 cup of vegetable oil. Okay, this is also great value stuff. So Walmart, you owe me a big fee for promoting your stuff. Okay. And you follow the directions. So just follow the directions. Don't try to deviate or be creative with it, because only after you gain a little bit more experience can you handle stuff like that. Okay, don't do it on your don't do it without getting this out of the way first. The basics first, people. The basics first. This is Transterrorism 101. The basics first. Every time. Okay, so we got all of that in the pan, and then I'm going to grab my little mixer, my handheld mixer, and we're going to blend it together. But I got to get my 4 egg whites. In other words, I have to have 8 egg whites in this thing. I suppose you probably could use the whole egg in there, because it doesn't matter if it is yellow or not, but it'll change the colors. Color's important here, okay? Color's important. So let's go ahead and get these over here. There's 4 eggs there. And need 1 more. So you got 8 eggs there. Let's get everything out of the way. Go back over to here. Okay. Now let me go ahead and get a bowl for that, because I need to be able to throw all of the pieces and the trash here out of my way. I don't really want to have to deal with all that later. Neither do you, right? Right? Whoever's watching, thank you. Thank you. This is Transterrorism 101. I'm showing you how to make the Trans-Terrace apple stack cake. These are the things that I have to do, that I do up in this holler, okay? And it has nothing to do with, it's very satirical, a lot of satire. And all my statements, I go after Kim Paxton, I go after Pam Bondi. I keep telling them they need to add me to their terrorist list at the very top of the list up there, because I'm such a threat. So I'm going to show them how to make an apple stack cake. Okay. My kids already know how to do all this. My grandkids, I don't know if they know or not, but I've got some extremely smart, and I love my kids, love my grandkids, love my family here in Kentucky. So they're very accomplished and successful people, hardworking, very solid Americans who don't spend a lot of time judging people for who they are. I love the fact that they are human beings and they see humanity regardless of whatever 4chan says. Especially those 13-year-olds over there on 4chan trying to attack me. It's so much fun. They need to be checking with their parents where they have a conversation with me, because they haven't quite matured enough. They've got a ways to go. All right, so let's see. Let's crack up some eggs and get some gloves on my hands, though, because I do want to get some gloves. What I do? What are the gloves? Okay. I want to get some gloves on, though, because I don't want to have to spend all the time washing my hands. So give me a second. We're looking for some gloves. What was that popping noise? Okay, found some gloves. Should have had them out earlier, but that's all right. Anyway, the whole idea of this thing is, one, I want to be listening to what Will Kane says up here, because he's an extremist. Down in Texas. I really wish he would go ahead and just nominate me for the top of Kim Paxton's list down there. You know, Kim is wanting to, I'm sure y'all know, Kim Paxton's wanting to infiltrate the trans and the Antifa organizations in the state, because he said it publicly too. So why do you think Kim Paxton would go out and say such a thing publicly? Because don't you think that doing it clandestinely is probably the better way if you were really serious about going after people like that? So he went public in a press release from the Secretary or from the Attorney General's office. Why is that? There's only one reason why he would do such a thing, and that's political performativity. He wanted to be able to show his base in Texas. He wanted to be able to show the Republican leadership at the federal government. He wanted to be able to show the White House that he's with them on all of this kind of cultural warfare crap, which doesn't make any sense at all. But Ken, that's just who Ken is. That's exactly who he is. He's always been that way. He's as much a weather vane politically as Nancy Mace is. She used to support trans people, and then when the winds changed direction, she switched to hating them. And she switched so far, joined with Seaman Apprentice Ronnie Jackson. He's an admiral in the Navy, but I don't think he qualifies as such. I would strip his rank from him. I'm shoving him all the way down to E1 because of the stuff that he has said, the stuff that he believes in, and the stuff that he just does to get attention. That's Ronnie Jackson. He's the one who said, he and Nancy Mace said, we need to institutionalize all the trans people. We need to lock them up, get them away from all their communications platforms, and not let them have any way of talking to each other. Take all that stuff away. And you can find that, and you can go look it up yourself. He said that. He actually directed or asked the FBI to begin that process. And guess what? They're on their way of doing it. Very slowly, very methodically. They have a plan to do it, but they are doing it. They're doing exactly what the Heritage Foundation wanted them to do. So, yeah, you need to be paying attention. If you haven't paid attention and you're just out here pontificating and saying shit, saying crap over on Twitter, then you got a problem, folks. Right now, the people who have been coming after me over there, saying a lot about this and talking about me as a Naval Academy grad and the grandparent and serial entrepreneur and all those things. And now I'm here in Eastern Kentucky helping out with family. And I've got beautiful family all across the country, everywhere. Hey, Mom, what are you trying to do there? What do you want to do? You trying to get up and go to the bathroom or something, or you just hanging out? Huh? Okay. Well, you want to sit on that other couch in the back? Or you want to lay back on that one? You want me to help you lay back on that chair you're on? Huh? I know you don't feel good. That's I'm worried about you getting up. You want something? Okay. Oh, hold on a minute here, folks. I'm making sure Mom's all right while we're doing this. Okay. She's sitting in her chair and she can listen. She's listening in on what I'm saying, but I want to make sure she's all right too. So there we go. So now we have all the egg whites that I wanted out of there. You just kind of roll them back and forth until you get the yellow separated. And there's that. Put it over here with the rest of the stuff in the sink. You take off my gloves. And now we can start blending all of this together. And I got to turn the fan on here. So I hope that's not too loud because it's starting to get warm in here, folks. And Kim Paxton and all you people down there in Texas, wherever you are, I do want to set up a trans terrorist training cell in Texas. But I need to know if I need to register with the Attorney General's office or if I need to register with the Secretary of State's office because in Texas, because, Cassandra Williamson LLC is a Kentucky limited liability for-profit corporation. And so for me to operate legally in Texas, do I need to go ahead and register as a foreign corporation down there too? Come on, Ken. You know the answer to these things. And I know that the Secretary of State down there does too. And I know that your Governor Abbott knows all this stuff too. It's just really curious to me that you would make a big deal out of this so publicly. When in fact, if you were serious about these things, you would be very private about it. you wouldn't tell anybody about it. You just go do it and then get the results out there. So that tells me that this is just political theater for you. And I know that you probably don't want to use the word performativity, because the word performativity actually comes from diversity, equity, inclusion, the stuff that Kimberly Crenshaw put together. If y'all don't know who Kimberly Crenshaw is, you need to go read her stuff, okay? She talked about intersectionality. She's a lawyer. And, Judith Butler said a lot of stuff too, but both of them said things I know that are wrong and I disagree with, because they got us where we are today on gender ideology and all that kind of stuff. I'm not an ideology. I don't know what you think, and I don't really care if you think that, but I am not an ideology. I am who I am, all that you see, all that you hear. So all I have to say is get over your bad self. I don't care what you think. So let's go ahead and stir this up. We got Will Kane up here on the monitor up there talking about the government shutdown. It reaches day 9. So let's blend this together. You ready? So just hang on. I'm blending it all up. We're going to make this white cake mix. And these will make the layers of cake that I'm making for this apple stack cake. So mix it up a couple of minutes, doesn't have to be on high, just kind of, so it mixes up everything completely. So using all the stuff I have here, and when I had my restaurants, I had all kinds of big heavy duty equipment, and it'd be like, done. But then again, I didn't have to mix cake mix either. You could buy it already made. Yeah, somebody underlined the fact that I was on my bio. I've been a serial entrepreneur in all kinds of industries and stuff. And you're like, what? What do you mean? Let me see. Restaurants, a newspaper, construction companies, real estate appraisal companies, a retail store. Let me see. Oh, I've also been a Republican Party chairperson down in Texas, in the county down there. Those are elected positions, just so you know. Worked for Kenneth and Gloria Copeland down in Texas for a little while. As much as I disagree with everything that they say about the prosperity gospel, and I know how wrong it is, it was my method, my place. I worked for them 6.5 years trying to find me, and they didn't know where I was either. So, yeah, no, they didn't get it. So anyway, folks, here we are, the blend. It's almost blended together. How you like that? It's looking good, right? Can you see that? I don't know if I can get it closer. See that? Look at that. Starting to look good. The batter is looking great. This is 2 boxes of white cake mix. Growing up, what we would do is Mom would mix everything up, and then we got the spoons and the mixers. Yeah. I don't know how Mom did it, though. She had 6 kids she raised, and I'm the oldest of those 6. But she raised 6 amazing human beings. And she and Dad. So we had good times. There's some tough times. We had some good times and all that. So it was a good experience, good family. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Okay, folks, I got to shake off some of this now and very slowly lift these things out of this batter, okay? So it doesn't splatter all over me. Okay. Okay, there we got that finished. Put these over here in some water so they rinse off. All right, now here's the trick to making Mom's apple stack cake. 2 tricks, really. One of them is you use actual apples and fry up your apples. Well, these apples, they're seasoned Southern style fried apples in a can. These are just as, in my opinion, just as good as any other type. Mom's were better, obviously, but these, what I'm going to do with these things, I've got like 6 cans of these I'm going to let boil down so that they get mushy apples. And puts a little bit of cinnamon in there, you know, and there'll be 6 cans like this all boiled down, but it takes a bit to do that. It's also going to take about 30 minutes to bake off the pies or the pans, okay? And it'll take another hour for them to cool down. So it's going to be later in this evening when I actually do the rest of this. But let's go ahead and show you. I'm going to show you how this initial part works out here. And this is the thing that made Mom's cake special, for holidays especially. But I've actually been doing it on days that aren't holidays, as you can tell. I kind of sadly, I love food, folks. I do. Especially Southern comfort foods and all that kind of stuff. It is just so good. I really enjoy food. I was talking to my sister's doctor today, and he has a French name. I don't think he's from the Cajun part of the United States. I think he's probably more like Canadian, like Quebec, maybe. But definitely a French name. And I asked him how long he had been here in Pikeville, Kentucky, at the Pikeville Medical Center, and he said he'd been here for like 14 years. And I said, "What? How's it going? Do you like it here?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do like it here. It's like a food desert here, though." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And he said, "I can't find any kind of good soups or anything around here. You have to go to a Chinese restaurant just to get some kind of halfway decent soup. Then you got to deal with all the MSGs that are in them." Yeah, that makes sense too. But I was telling them that I had 3 restaurants out in Missouri, and they're about 50 miles east of Kansas City. And it was like, really? I said, yeah, one of them was a soup and salad place. And the other one was an Americana restaurant. And the other one was Luigi's Italian restaurant. And it was some good food, folks. Good food. Good food. All right, so what I'm going to do, I could probably put it in here, but I'm going to go ahead and spray these pans. And I'm going to spray them over the sink because I don't like having to clean up all that mess. You just spray it over the sink, set that aside, spray this one over the sink. There's 5 of them. We get all the pans sprayed with some Pam Original Easy Cleanup spray. It's easy cleanup as long as you don't bake it in. burn it in. Now, what I got to do, excuse me. So I'm going to figure out how much cake batter I want in each pan, okay? And I could probably do that this way. Let me see. I'll use my little handy dandy measuring cup here. Okay, give me a sec. No, you 4chan people out there watching, y'all need to get over your bad selves. Y'all are just a bunch of kids. And I can tell you're all young. All those people who are watching me from over, or listening to me and trying to talk with me over on Twitter. Every word you used and how you used your terminology told me exactly that you were, just about every one of you, not all. There were some that are in their 30s. I can tell that too. But most of you are just young kids, and you need to get parental permission to be on X. And there's not a single one of you, except for maybe one, who were capable of telling me exactly who they are and where they live, like I do. Not a one of you. But yet you pretend that you know better than me and that I should be real. Don't you see the hypocrisy of what you just did? You are not being real. You're hiding behind a bunch of fake stuff and going after me. None of you have the guts to do anything, do you? You're just a bunch of kids. One or two people in there were actually probably over 30. But for the most part, the rest of you were just babes. You got a ways to go. Trying to tell me, well, no, it's just ludicrous. And you know something? Whenever somebody gets on there and they make statements like this, that there is absolutely only male and female in the world, and then it's an absolute condition, that tells me you don't know squat about science, and that's what you're saying is an ideological position. It's not based in any kind of science whatsoever, any kind of reality that you see in the universe around you. The position is that you are taking is strictly ideological and baseless in fact. That's what you're doing, but you know, that's your world. You live in it if you want. So let me see if I can get this measured out just right where I want it. Let me get my little spreader thing here. I'm not going to pour them all into these things because I probably could, but whatever. I could mix them up there too. Yeah, probably would stick, but hey, let's go ahead and do it there because it's easier. What I'll do is balance it out. We got 5 different pans. Hey, Mom, where are you headed? Hold on 1 minute. I'll get there with you, okay? Mama's fallen a few times, slipped into the floor and stuff like that. And that's one of our biggest worries. Where are you headed, Mom? Huh? Don't know? Can you hang on a minute? Or did you go to the bathroom or something? I got to turn the AC on in here. I'm like burning up. So give me 1 minute, Mom. I'll get these cakes in the oven. Won't take long. I'm going to put some of this one in here. There we go. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm separating these into roughly equal sizes within these pans. I could measure it out, but it doesn't really matter all that much. I'm going to spread them out. They'll increase in size in the heat in the oven and all. I just don't want it to be thin. This has got the most in it though. Okay. Roughly equivalent, roughly. For all of you who are OCD or whatever, you probably want to measure all this out and check it, but you could do that if you wanted to. Not terribly critical. Now look. So you got these pans now that have got cake mix in the bottom. Where you headed there again? See? Got cake mix here in the bottom. This is going to be an apple stack cake, an Appalachian apple stack cake. Hold on a second. I'll go check on Mom here. Where you headed? Huh? Okay. You want to go sit down on the other couch or what? Huh? Okay. Let's turn around here real carefully. Okay. Okay. You got it. You got it. That's it. So if you sit back over here, you'll be able to stretch out too. Is that what you want to do? Huh? Okay. You're almost there. Okay. Yep. There you go. Okay. Now, are you back far enough on the chair? You want me to kick it out for you a little bit? Okay. How's that right there? You want that cushion behind you, or you just want to lay back like that? Okay. Okay. There you go. You need a blanket to cover up, or is it too, are you just warm? Just fine. Huh? There's that if you want it.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yep. Okay, everybody. Now here's the trick to making these things, okay? The trick to making an apple stack cake, especially a holiday type cake, is you grab some of that forbidden food coloring from Not Dr. Kennedy. We've got gel food colors, we've got more gel food colors, more gel food colors. Those are darker ones. I'm not too interested in the dark colors. And then I've got some glitter food colors. So we want to use these two, and I'll show you what we do. It's really easy to do this. All you do is just mix in some of these, a drop or 2 or 4 or 5, 6, whatever, to give some vibrant colors in here. And you gotta have vibrant colors. Come on, if you don't have color in your life, you're just bland asphalt, right? Like DeSantis, what he wanted to do down in Florida, or what he has done down in Florida, in Miami. It's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Remove a sidewalk because it's colorful. Jeez. Okay, so I'm going to take the purple one and get a different spatula here. And now we're going to put in some purple in here, folks. Let me see, who is Will King talking to now? The peace deal. Okay, folks. Purple, here we go. We're going to put some purple in this one. Just going to swirl in some purple. This whole layer will be purple. And it'll be, I mean, just stunning kind of holiday colors and themes. This is what Mom did when we were growing up. I continued it with my kids. So I'm going to take this and blend it in a little bit, you know, make a light purple color. And we'll do this with every one of them. Blend it. I may not even blend it all the way. I mean, it doesn't have to. It can be swirls, right? That can be just whatever you want, however you want it. Okay, there's that one. Go over here and rinse this off. Okay, we got the purple out of the way. Let's do with some pink, neon pink. We're going to start out right here. Now this, it blends in pretty fast in the white cake mix, so it takes a little bit more to get the pink to show up. So we'll do that, and then we'll check it again. Let's see. Blend that one together. Here we go. See? Bring it over here. You can watch this happen. Here we go. Just blend it up like that, you know, and right there in the pan. Like I said, you don't even have to make it consistently smooth all the way across. You can just leave it with the swirls inside. Now, that looks good too. I mean, really, yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, that's good enough for that one, right? Shake it down just a little bit. Got swirls in there. You can see the purple one, how it turned out. Look, that's really cool, huh? Okay. What color we want to add next? What color do we want to add next? I've got orange and green. I've got orange. Let's put some orange in one of them. How's that? There we go. That's that one. My niece is down in Savannah, Georgia. She's watching this. I don't know if she is or not, but if she does decide to watch this, she says, "Now, Cassandra, that's not exactly how we make a cake." She's a cake. She is definitely an expert on the cakes. She's got that down. I'm just kind of a novice compared to what she is. So let's go here. Here we are. Look at that. Orange. Looks good. Oh my God. In the restaurant, I would buy the cake mixes. All you had to do is just kind of add milk or add water or something to it. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. It was just like this. Really no different whatsoever. People have been convinced that they have to do it all with making their own, put in their own eggs and put in their own milk or whatever. You can actually buy it already done. All you just but people like to have their hands into everything. That's fine. That's fine. That's the orange one. Now let's clean off the orange off the little ladle. I mean, off the spatula. Now, what colors we want? Anybody want to tell me what color you'd like to have? Here's a couple options. Okay. You tell me. Put it in the comments over there. Let's see what you think. So here's what we've got. I've got, it's a glitter blue. A glitter blue. I've got a glitter-based green. See? And I've got a glitter-based red. And this is a glitter white. The white I'm going to set aside. I won't use that one. Cake's white. It would just be a glittery cake. So here's the choices. You got red, blue, and green. What color do you want? I've got two. You can pick two out of this. Here we go. Let's see what people said. See if I can get the comments up here. I'm making chicken au jus with au jus gravy and saffron rice in the crock pot. Oh, that sounds good, Junia. Ooh, Lordy, does it ever sound good. Anyway, so what do we want here? I got the red, the green, the blue. All right, so I'm going to go with the red and the blue. Let's see. Got Mom over to a chair, a recliner, a reclining couch, and hopefully that'll be better for her over there. So I'm going to put some of this glittery blue in this. Now I can guarantee that there are people making comments over there somewhere. Red and green, Junia. Red and green. Okay, red and green. I think right here we go. Red and green. All right. Let me get rid of the blue. We'll do red and green. Red and green. So like I said, I'm not worried about making it blend smoothly in all of this. The swirls are just fine. Okay, got the red in that one. And you said green. Okay, got the green right here. Mix it in here just a second. I put it plenty in so it can show up. Okay, got that. Now, we're going to take our little spatula thing right here. These are one of those, oh, what is it, CWC, what was that, the Country Woman thing? Let's blend in the green, the glittery green. Here we go. I think I might need some more green in that one. Yep, kind of really light green. So let me get the green. We're going to do some more green in there. So for those of you just dropping in, this is an apple stack cake. It's made in the holiday style with actual whole, it's fried apples and not applesauce or anything like that. This is actual made from fried apples. And that this layered in between each layer, the fried apples and then cake, fried apples and more cake and covered in apples on the top. That's what we did. That's what Mom made for us growing up. It was the holiday special, the big treat. And I think I'm about out of green. I think I used every bit of it. Yep, it's done. Okay. So let's blend in the rest of the green. See, let's bring it over here where you can see it in front of the camera. Here we go. This is called trans terrorism in the kitchen and Mudlick Road in Hardy, Kentucky, in Pike County, right along the Hatfield-McCoy, well, in the Hatfield-McCoy feud area along the Tug River of West Virginia, separating the two states. Beautiful area here. And yeah, we do know a little thing or two about getting mad over pigs and girls. All right, so right there we got a kind of a lime green color. This one didn't turn out to be the deep green that would have been good, but hey, that's quite all right. We're good with that. And next, oh, I got to blend in the red. Okay. I'm probably going to have to go ahead and add in the rest of the red because it will turn into pink in a hurry. So let me just go ahead and do that. We already have a pink over here. So let's add this glittery red in the entire bottle. And Robert Kennedy, you can just go wherever. I'm actually using red food coloring. See that? As if, right? Okay, there's all of the red. Let's see what that does too. All right, here we go. Let's blend it in and just take a look at it. We're blending it together. The big news everybody's talking about today happens to be with President Trump and Israel and Hamas. I'm going to tell you my opinion on it. Hamas is a terrorist organization. They hide behind civilians. Their main goal in life, their entire purpose, and the raison d'existence is the destruction of Israel. They are continuing a legacy that goes back 3,000 years that seeks to destroy Jewish people and Israel. The religious text that they use, that they rely upon in the Quran, gives them permission to lie to people who are not Muslim. So I am extremely leery of any kind of peace deal with these people because their goal is still the destruction of Israel. So what they're doing is they're resetting. And here we're saying a lot of civilians have died. Yes, they have. And that's really horrible. It really is horrible. But who do you think did that? Israel has a right to protect itself. Hamas hides among its people. My personal opinion, you can't make a deal with the devil. It will not work. It will be turned on its head soon. So the only thing you can do is figure out a way to, you have to make sure that you have to completely jerk the fangs out of this group of people and scatter them to the winds of the earth. Don't let them ever again be able to have power or any ideological perspective over the people in Gaza, the people in Yemen, the people in Iran. This is an ideological rot that seeks to destroy another group of human beings simply because of who they are. Does that sound familiar? Should. Heritage Foundation is real familiar with that one, going after trans people, right? Dehumanizing and demonizing trans people. They've been doing that for decades now, and they're finally getting what they want. I mean, it's ironic that we have people over on the right saying that the people on the left are demonizing and dehumanizing ICE agents and federal officers and stuff like that. And they are, which they shouldn't be doing. And they're saying the left needs to come up and stand up against this kind of dehumanizing because it can cause the harm for our police officers and our ICE officers. Yes, it can. And it has. We know it. We see it. But they have failed to look in the darn mirror, because that mirror, if they looked into it, they would see that they've been doing the same thing against trans Americans and LGBT Americans and women. All right. Spatula in hand. let's see what we need to do next. So back on the back of this little box, following the directions as much as you can. These are 8-inch pans, so you're looking at 34 to 35 minutes, but they're thin layers of cake. So I'm just going to do them for 25 and then go in and check, okay? Have to make sure they get done. Notice I haven't changed the swirls or anything like that. I've left the swirling alone in there. I'm going to shake them out so that the cake mix is actually uniform across the pans, the bottom of the pan. I want them to be thin, like this, relatively thin. And make sure all that is in a good place. That's in a good place. And then we're going to put them in the oven for about 25 minutes. Maybe I ought to do it just for 20 minutes because these are thin. These are not full thickness cakes. So I'm setting the timer. We'll go ahead and do this, set it for 20 minutes. And you're not going to see this part until later, whenever the cakes have had a chance to cool down. So I'm talking about several hours and maybe even tomorrow morning before I decide to put the apples on it, because I want these to actually sit for a little while and harden some. Otherwise, they'll just fall apart. Got the cake in there. Put that one back here in the back. Put this one up here. And we'll have one up on the top. There you go, folks. We'll just let that bake in there for about 20 minutes and come back and check it in a little while. And I hope you've learned a few things. Basically, what this cake was going to look like is going to be multicolored, layers of apples in between it, on top of it. It's an apple stack cake, kind of a southern thing. This particular one is Mom's version, okay? I've never seen a recipe that makes it this particular way, where you take apples and then fry them down until they're really mushy and soft. And you put the apples on between each layer, not applesauce, not apple butter, but applesauce. You can put apple butter in between them. You can put applesauce in between them, but hey, for my money, this is the best right here, as you can tell. Thoroughly enjoyed the cakes and stuff. Tomorrow or something like that, or soon, I hope to make some different types of fudge, peanut butter candy. And someone told me how they make it. I'm going to kind of go with that method to do it, and just to see what it turns out, how it turns out, because it has the possibility of being some really tasty, different flavors of peanut butter fudge, peanut butter candy. I mean, and basically all you're going to do is use some icing, cake icing, and then go from there as a starting point, which would be really cool, really easy. So we'll see how that turns out tomorrow. I'm not going to do that today. So I've got all my apples over here in the cans. You can buy up the bag of apples and do all that kind of stuff, but you're going to get the same result if you just do it this way. The only thing different will be you don't get all that labor-intensive part of doing it yourself. All right, let me see. What else we got to do here? We got that and that. I'm going to keep that. I've got the gel, white and blue. Put those back in the box. Let's put these up into cabinets. We got all kinds of food color up in here. They even have, do you know Crayola makes a food color brand? They have a food color brand. Look at that. Crayola. Food colors. Do you know that? Anybody? I didn't. 3-pack. This thing has color your creations. But this is actually the better box than the other boxes, because this one tells you what you can do. If you want to get green, if you want to have a good color green, you put 12 drops of green in it and 12 yellow. Carnation pink is just 2 pinks. Turquoise blue is 5 green and 1 yellow. It tells you on the back how to blend it to get it just right. And for all the trans terrorists out there, if you're looking for things that actually might help people where you live or entertain them or actually, engage with people maybe and show them that you're not a bunch of idiots. Here, here, do something like this. If I hear people who are watching this show going out and throwing rocks at ICE vehicles, ICE personnel, or the police, or going out there and pulling weapons on them, if I find out who you are, I am going to be the one to direct the police after you. That's who this trans terrorist is. I'm going to make sure that our organization, our people aren't the ones creating the problems. Because all it takes is that one idiot in this community to become the poster child that causes the entire community to be locked away for no reason other than fear and power. So there we go. So what else you want to talk about, huh? I've got that in the oven. When I took my sister to the doctor today, I got a Coke. And let me see. Cards, gloves, all of this kind of stuff's here. That's ready. That's ready. Got that. Well, so we'll clean up in here in just a little bit. So let me see, what time is it getting to be for you watching? It's almost 5 o'clock. That means that I'm going to stop this show and then start back live in just a minute because I want to go in the back to my bigger computer rather than my phone and kind of run this simultaneously with what the 5 does on Fox News. They're the ones who actually have been villainizing, dehumanizing, and demonizing trans people for decades now. And they put this kind of faux sense of, what do you call it? Faux anger over people who are dehumanizing, demonizing ICE and federal officers. They have no sense of actually, they've said the same kind of crap in the past. That's no justification for it, but they have done it day in and day out. And then get all flustered because people on the left don't want to play a game with them, don't want to play ball on their side. Can't imagine why. But we better not be the ones being violent out there. And I'm serious about that. Be violent out there, and I find out who you are, I'll do everything in my power to make sure that that police van shows up on your door and gets you. We have been the cause of so many of our own problems over the years. We initiated this thing called transgenderism, the word itself, gender ideology. It came out of our gender studies stuff in academia, folks. And now we're having to push back against it because it was wrong then and it's wrong now. So I'll talk to you in just a second at 5 o'clock whenever I turn this show over to the 5 when they kick on. In the meantime, we got the cake in the oven.